Hey everybody, welcome. It is another Thursday night here on HWR. We are live and we are full of it. We got a lot of
And a
shit.
lot more.
Yeah. We're smoking it, we're drinking it, we're farting it, we're doing everything tonight because we're coming up to Evolution, the first ever WWE's women's pay-per-view. But before that, we got a lot going on. So let me introduce the hardcore crew. The fans just missed everybody. Missed him. He just went to bed. He was the Uber of Westchester. He was just, well, I can't say that. Go ahead, Kayla. You say it, Zoe.
All right. The Uber of Westchester.
Yeah, see, that's royalty right there. um, Yep. So he just went to bed because he has to get up in the morning. But let me introduce the rest of the hardcore crew. You just heard her with her awesome voice. She is the Vicious Vixen from Kentucky's Own Wrestling, the manager of the KCW Tag Team Champions Carnage. She is Zoe Nightshade.
You know it. Great to be back for another episode of Four Corner Rants with our Q&A session tonight. Make sure to type your questions in. I'll read them out loud and we will answer them.
Absolutely. And he is the master of Stoked Haunted, the one that puts England into real fear. He is that son of a bitch, Andy. Andy, so great to have you.
Hello, everybody, and don't forget, Halloween's not far away.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And you can hear my wife is fucking vacuuming upstairs. But I guess the grandkids did something upstairs. Anyway, let's move on. He is...
That's the new turbocharged broomstick.
That's the new suckomatic machine that women are getting nowadays. Anyway, let me introduce. He is the other Southerner. He is the guitar picking, Cajun cooking, incomparable one, Lance Moss.
Yeah, and I just want to say the next episode of Lance Moss TV, the Wednesday night show, will be my Halloween party. So y'all come check it out. And yeah, let's have some fun tonight.
Absolutely. And finally, he is the warden of this insane asylum. He's more of an inmate than the rest of the inmates. He is Rick Head.
What's up, guys? Evolution around the corner, and tonight, like you said, we got a lot to talk about. Let's jump right into it.
All right, and again, fans, tonight is our questions and answers. We're going to be covering a lot of the news. We've got Evolution picks, so we're gonna try to fill in as much as possible. So again, questions. We want your questions. Let us know anything and which member do you want to answer, or if you want all of us to answer, just let us know. Let's go straight with this, and Johnny agreed with me, but Roman Reigns battles with leukemia. I don't think he's battling leukemia, but let me read this quick. This past Monday, WWE Champion Roman Reigns Anoy revealed that he has leukemia and it has come back miraculously. Roman had to vacate the title, because he was the WWE Universal Champion, so he can focus on himself. Rowan's proclaimed that he is not done with wrestling and made it clear he will be back. Ta-da! Since his departure, many wrestling fans who hated Roman Reigns are now cheering. Thank you, WWE, you got what you wanted. While others are suggesting that this is some sick storyline, me included. One fan photoshopped Reigns' t-shirt that says F Cancer, where many were outraged. The actions claiming that he or she was capitalizing on Roman Reigns' sickness. Joe's cousin, Samu Anoy, also having his own battle with level 4 cancer, said this has been selling Anoy Strong t-shirts for several years now. In short, Samu made it clear that the shirts are not for profit, but to donate the money to charity. All right. Damn wife and her fucking vacuuming. That's why Soon she'll be an ex-wife.
Wow.
Damn.
You know, Joe, I'm going to jump right in, and I know that you wanted to say this, and I know for some reason you and Johnny Perez seems to think that this is some sick joke, and you know what, I'm going to tell you something. I find that total bullshit, and I'll tell you why. 3 reasons. First and foremost, you have WWE, who pretty much supports 2 cancer associations. That is the Connor the Crusher Association, and of course the Sarah Coleman breast cancer. So to say somebody who makes a joke or a storyline about somebody having leukemia is just outright disrespectful. Secondly, you got to think about the fans. Yeah, there are people in there who have family members of themselves who are also battling this very sick, this very horrible disease. It can be treated, but it doesn't mean you can be healed from it. So Joe, I'm sorry, but what you said absolutely makes no sense. And to be honestly, even I was a little upset about that.
Well, let me just put it this way: WWE has been known to do harsh storylines, and they capitalize on this sort of thing. Let's not. Let me put in a couple of good examples. Brian Pillman flashing a gun on TV, going to shoot Stone Cold, who was invading his house. The necrophilia of Kane and Triple H. The heart attack of Jerry the King Lawler.
That was legit.
Yeah, that was legit, but they used that for different purposes. And we can even go further back. Superstar Billy Graham's knee surgery, they promoted that. These are people that, if this was legitimate, okay, and I'm not saying maybe it is, maybe it's not, but here is my thing. Why not do a press conference during the day? They know Roman Reigns is not doing well, as he's not being respected by the fans. Nobody gives 2 shits. That comment that just said that even the most hated fans are cheering him now. They're using the pity trip to get this guy over. He has failed as a WWE Universal Champion. They've been slapping the belt on him.
He just got the title, Joe.
Exactly. How many times have you had it?
Hold on. Now, he's been holding on to this for 11 years. 11 he's been battling. He kept it quiet. Nobody knew about it. Why now? Why not, 6 or 8 months ago or even a year ago when he could use that big fight? I'm sorry. And when you're talking about, Brian Pillman bringing in the gun, and all these other little storylines that are clearly storylines, this is a serious matter. This is a serious issue. He came out he came out and he said straight up, "My name's Joe. I have been battling leukemia." Saying it now, at this point, I'm sorry, I believe him. Well, and you want to find some weird, sick reason to twist it. I'm sorry, Joe, but you're wrong.
Let's look at also the other things. When they use Road Warrior Hawk's alcoholism, they use that.
And again, but that's something to be treatable. That is something, that's not a life-threatening thing. When you have alcoholism or drug issues, yes, this is a cancer. You don't make fucking jokes about that shit. Well, WWE, this shares would not be worth a fucking penny.
Well, I make the prediction.
Somebody who knows business, you would know that firsthand.
And I know exactly this is type of thing that they will use. Why couldn't they do a press conference? Why couldn't they do a press conference today? Because they knew they can profit it off this ratings.
You know what? If that's the case, then why not make shirts? Why not sell shirts?
Hey, you know what? They don't be surprised. Well, they do sell it. The Connor's Corner shirts, the Susan.
And you know what? They're legitimate companies with legitimate sicknesses.
Absolutely.
Leukemia is nothing to joke about, and I don't think they're lying.
Well, let's see at Royal Rumble when the mystery entrant it buzzes and it's Roman Reigns and everybody's popping like. He
admitted he's going to eventually come back. I hope he will, but let's be realistic again. The man's 33 years old. And I can speak personally, I have epilepsy, for those of you who are listening. As you get older, these diseases get harder and harder for your body to fight off. I've tried medications, different types of therapy, and none of it's helped, but it's not stopped. Now, I hope Roman Reigns would, in like 4 or 5 years, maybe 10 years, can say, okay, fine, I'm better, let me do another run. I'm sorry. I'm going to toss it off to somebody else, Joe, because, I'm sorry. But the fact that you truly believe this is a hoax, Joe, I thought you were smarter than that, to be frankly.
Like I said, I know wrestling, and I know how Vince will stoop low.
This isn't wrestling, but okay.
But this is on a wrestling program that they even admit the ratings are not doing well. Roman Reigns as a champion has been a fizzle, and we'll have to see. But let's go around the table real quick, because we also got a question pop up before from one Kristen Elizabeth Mills. But let's go to you, Kayla, on this Roman Reigns situation.
Okay. First, I do gotta say, Kristen Elizabeth Mills is actually my sister-in-law, so shout out. As far as Roman goes, I don't think that's fake either. I mean, like I was explaining to you guys earlier, I think the reason they didn't do a press conference is because, anytime that you have leukemia, it's cancer. You're going to be going back and forth for checkups. Something probably popped up on him at one of his checkups. They ran more tests and just recently found out. I'd say they probably asked Roman, hey, how do you want to break it to the fans? Do you want us to do it for you, or do you want to go do it? But I mean, I kind of feel like this is legit. And it definitely is. My prayers are with him and his family. Oh my God.
All right, let's go to you, Lance.
Well, honestly, the reason I think they didn't do a press conference, how there was even a WWE tradition. If you have to break something to the fans, you do it in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, if this was a work, they're kind of Vince would be screwing himself on Crown Jewel, as screwed up as that show's even going to be. So that, and you don't joke about leukemia.
Well, let's go to you, Andy. Final word on this.
Yeah, I think I'm with the other guys. I think it's legit. I know WWE pulled shit out the bag, and they've done various different things, having affairs with people's wives, but I think they would lose the sponsorship with Connor and the breast cancer appeal. I just think they would say, no, don't want anything to do with this, because how are people going to believe that when they are supposedly paying $15 more expensive than they should be for a t-shirt, and that $15 is going to breast cancer?
All I can say is time will tell, and let's see if Joel and Noi is really battling leukemia, or is just a storyline. We have a couple of people join the chat room. Johnny Swade from KCW, he sends us like,
yeah.
We got a big thumbs up from Herbie Lance. So now let's go. We're gonna go over to another thing. Crown Jewel looks like it's still set to go. Apparently, over the past several weeks, there were talks about the WWE pulling out of Crown Jewel due to kidnapping of a Saudi journalist. Actually, it was a U.S. journalist who is believed to be dead. I think they found that he is dead. There were also rumors of big-name wrestlers such as John Cena and Daniel Bryan, who did not want to be part of the controversial event. WWE made the typical PR statement. As always, we maintain an open line of communication with our performers, and we will address each situation accordingly. Needless to say, this is a bland comment with no real information. According to WWE's website, the card is still planned. Some have suggested the possibility the U.S. government might step in and ban the travel to Saudi Arabia at the last moment, but I doubt this because, after all, Vince's wife works for the government. So she'll probably put it, and all my thing, I believe, first of all, they're going to Saudi Arabia. It's like if they're worried about terrorism attacks, they're putting on a show for terrorism. So you're not going to have any problems there. Plus, these people are going to make sure that after all this time, that they're not going to have anything that's going to damage the reputation. They're trying to get people to go to their countries. I had somebody posted on Facebook that actually in Dubai, over in the Middle East, that they actually have it's Walt Disney Studios or Walt Disney World. They made an actual DC Universe theme park. So
Oh, I know.
yeah,
I want to go.
so they, it's like, thank you, I am Batman. Don't worry about this. We're very good. Holy camel spit, Batman.
And it's indoors.
Yeah, and it's all indoors, which is kind of cool. But my question is, why the hell couldn't they do that in America? But anyway,
I know.
let's go on with the round table. Rick, what do you think about the crown jewel? It looks like it's a go. And I don't think actually nothing's going to happen that's going to happen like last time. Everything's going to really smooth, and it's going to be, well, whatever kind of event they're going to have.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the only thing it can fuck up is the WWE card itself. I mean, just like, the matches, I mean, because we've seen some pretty shitty pay-per-views over the past couple of months. However, I honestly think that, well, first and foremost, John Cena and Daniel Bryan are on board despite rumors. He made it very clear he is 100% going. So, that and foremost. And, the Saudi government doesn't make, multi-million deals with a company just to assassinate them. You know what I mean? So I think, honestly, it has that stigma that all of a sudden, they're all underhanded and they're all just going to kill everybody. And I'm sorry. I think you said you're right, Joe. They're trying to reform themselves and say, hey, look, yeah, there are extremists, but overall as a country, we're decent people. We just have different ways.
Well, that and everybody has their extremists. We have, leftists and liberals who vacate from mob violence. And then we saw already, we saw somebody that's looking to blow up the Democrats and liberals. I'm going to make this clear. This is my opinion. Nobody, regardless of political affiliation, deserves to die or get hurt. I hope that the parties, our country comes together, because it's a big mess right now. Over in HWR chat room, it is Mrs. A. Carrie Allenbacher. She's there. Hello, Mrs. A. And over in the HWR chat room and show on YouTube is our beloved George.
George boy.
There we go. So we have to get everybody in it. Before we go on to continue with anything else, I just want to say again, for those listening in who just joined, because a couple people just joined, we are doing our Q&A tonight. So if you have any questions, please be sure to put it on either on the HWR show on YouTube or put it on the HWR chat room right now. And hey, Mrs. A.
And a big shout out to Carrie. She just joined as well.
Yep, absolutely. We got some great people here. But let's go around the table. Andy, what do you think about the Crown Jewel event?
I've got mixed emotions, actually. I don't think they should be going for political reasons, but Vince has got himself backed into a corner. He can't win either way. No matter what happens, he can't win. But to me, it's been weak. It shows weakness. When you've got your president saying, we want nothing at all to do with you, and then the biggest company in America, television-wise, is going over there and basically rubbing Donald Trump's nose in the shit, to be honest. That's how I feel. I'm sure Donald Trump's got the same philosophy that Theresa May has in the UK. We don't have any dealings with this sort of behaviour. We don't tolerate it. By sending a team of television people over, is tolerating it.
And you know what? I'm usually the bad guy when it comes to stuff like this. But I think in this case, there is still a lot of unknowns at this time. So we don't know. They of course deny it. Other people saying they did it. It's with our stuff, with our society today, we never will know for sure what happened. It's just like, it's just like other things that happen, when it comes to, like, the World Trade Center bombing, or the moon landing, or the Great Pumpkin. We don't know what's real or not, so let's go on with, again, around the table, and let's go to you, Zoe.
I swear, whenever you said real life, it took me back to that famous YouTube video, that little boy at the dentist. Is this real life? Anyhow, I just had to throw that out there. Honestly, I don't think anything's going to happen because, the prince over there or whatever, obviously he is a huge fan of WWE, even though he didn't know certain legends were dead. But they're paying all that money. I'd say that they're going to have enforced security, even if there is any extremists there, which there probably will be. But, no, I think they're good. They'll be able to go over there, put on a great show, and come right back home.
Absolutely. And final word on you, Lance Man.
Well, I was kind of hoping, because of how much heat is going on in Saudi Arabia right now, I was kind of hoping they were going to find an alternate location. But on the other hand, I'm actually kind of excited for this one because I kind of like tournament-style pay-per-views. But I do hope they do one thing. Bust out a giant slip and slide and let Titus O'Neil take one
I was waiting for it.
That's the real reason we're watching the pay-per-view, just to see Titus fall.
Oh, shit. And he was such a good sport about it, too.
Yeah, I'm going to toss it real quick to Rick. Rick, do you think that's going to happen again? You think they're going to say, hey, you know what, do it again?
No, because if you guys notice, he's actually taking a step back, and to be quite frank, I mean, yeah, it was a mistake. But if they really were going to capitalize on it, they would have kept on doing it. And they could have done the Titus World slide, but they made one shirt and nobody, I think, bought it. I think the people who made the T-shirts had to pay for it. To be quite frank.
All right, and before we go into our main event, which is our Evolution picks, Zoe, I know your sister-in-law had a question.
She did. She actually wants to know, who do we think is going to be at the Raw Women's Champion after this show? Will it be Ronda or Nikki?
In my opinion, they should keep it on Ronda. It's like the lesser of two evils. But there's no reason whatsoever. Well, first of all, Nikki shouldn't have been getting a push as it is. That just shows to me that their own talent, they don't feel confident in their talent. To me, I think that's kind of a slap to the face to all the women who worked hard, like Asuka, Bayley, Sasha, Amber Moon, who I think they really should let her go on a tear. But this is bad when they don't capitalize on those women and they bring these two Bella botches, the Botchin Bella bitches, so,
baby.
Yeah. I'm gonna say straight, it's gonna come down to the Bella. It's gonna come down to a schmoz. The Bella bitches are gonna try something, and Ronda's just gonna catch them, and that's it. I think she's just gonna catch them and take them out. I don't know about you, Rick. What do you think?
Well, you and I have a little bit of a difference in opinion. I am not a Rousey fan. Well, as a wrestler, I'm not a fan yet because she really hasn't proven herself. She's been in the company for a little over 6 months. And what has she really done? She did a match at WrestleMania, tag team match with Triple H, Stephanie, and Kurt Angle, who pretty much carried the match. She's done a few other matches in between, but as a champion or even as a wrestler, she should have been on Raw the following night after WrestleMania, fighting jobbers, honing her craft. So personally, like I said, I know I'm not too crazy about Nikki Bella either, but for me, Nikki's the lesser of two evils. But I think they put her Rousey with Nikki because they're gonna have Rousey go over Nikki, and thus saying, hey, look, I beat one of the greatest champions in the WWE.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, we may be in agreement, but I'm talking in general.
Yeah. I just hope they break her arm. Because we don't need to see no more Bellas. Nobody would care.
Joe,
yes, Lance.
I don't want her to break her arm. I want her to break her fucking neck.
There we go. How about this? I'll compromise with you. Break her arm and break her leg and her neck.
I'll break her arm and break her neck. That'll work.
Yeah. There you go. And since you spoke up, Lance, man, take it away.
Yeah. I want Rousey because, hey, lesser of two people that suck. But yeah, Rousey to break her damn arm and her break everything on Nikki Bella.
Then while you're at it, focus on Brie. Let's go.
Just beat her up. Don't break anything because she is a mom. Bad for the kid.
All right, we'll give her a bye on that. She'll just get the beat down. All right, let's move on to the active woman wrestler on the group, Zoe.
Yeah, Kristen, I know that you are a giant Bella Twins fan. I'm sorry, but I do want Ronda to win it. I can't stand Ronda Rousey, but I do hope that she does walk away with the title, and I hope that Nia Jackson wins it back later on down the line.
And again, that's kind of the sad thing here. It's they have so many great women, in that roster, and they should have been giving it to them. Final word, Andy. From the question is who do we think should be a women's champion of Raw?
I personally think Nikki Bella's going to win because everybody wants Ronda Rousey to win, and WWE never give you what you want.
Oh, yeah, if they would have given us what we want, they should have at least brought these women back to do pillow matches.
I don't know. They did finally make Dean Ambrose turn heel, so yeah, I'm satisfied. And they met my needs.
Yes. Yes. Somewhere in Kentucky, you can hear yay, yay.
No. After this Saturday, we're going to hear. Let me out of here, damn it! Let me out of here!
Oh my God! You made me snort.
There'll be a lot of pounding on the door, and Zoe will finally let Dean Ambrose out. So, and she'll be
Once
saying,
after she does her dirty deeds.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well,
I'm really spoiled right now.
Okay, now that we got those things out of the way, it really took off. We got a few more minutes before we go on our main topic, which is the Evolution picks. What did you guys think of that heel turn and then having Ambrose? This is uncharacteristic out of the WWE, where they actually paraded him out to his, out of the arena with security and the fans being there, and like this one person screamed, "Why?" My thing was, when I heard about that, my first thing that I screamed back was, "Mark!" Like he reminded me of that. It's still real to me, damn it, guy.
I think he knew that everybody would be recording it, so he wanted to make sure that he stood out.
What makes me laugh, and I'm gonna toss it to Rick. This was already in the plans. Hell, WWE literally was telling you this man is gonna turn. This man is gonna turn. And according to the reports, like I even predicted, they were supposed to have him turn at Survival Series and turn against the Shield. But then with this situation with Roman, they decided to do it faster. It's kind of that, and that's another reason, like I say, it's a storyline with Roman, because the Shield was out there, they were crying and all that, and yet here is Dean. Okay, you know what? A few minutes later, bam, let's betray my brother. But the point is, let's look at this real fast. It was so obvious that Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and what was it? Ray Orbison even saw it coming. So, Rick, you know, was it that obvious?
Unfortunately, it was, and I have to agree with you. So why they fast-tracked it again? You and I are in complete disagreement about the situation with Roman Reigns, and I think that's the only reason why they fast-tracked it is because of his immediate learning of him being sick again. I could have seen that happen like a few months later on down the road, and eventually just have him turn on both the similar way that Seth Rollins did. And I don't want to say that's what's good, but it's the obvious happen. I'm glad that the turn's finally made. And the funny thing is that he threw the title at him. So does that mean he's vacated the tag team title? So that's a question you got to think about.
And I'm going to follow it up with that to you, Lance. Not only was it obvious, but what would happen if Dolph Ziggler and McIntyre, even though they're really not considered a team because McIntyre is going to get a big push, but what if they said we want our rematch clause right here and now? There's no tag champs. Automatically, they get the titles back.
No. Well, they probably knowing Constipation Corbin. He probably make Seth Rollins defend it single-handedly. And honestly, the fact that it happened so soon after Monday, that's the best way. That's the only way they had to go, or else it'd just be Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. What was mean until Survivor Series, so they kind of had to.
Yep. Over in the HWR chat room, Mrs. A says, hopefully Dean is done being the scouring, silent type now, and will go back to being his cheeky, badass self. He can be on a tear now, and this will bring a lot of the good possibilities for matches now. And I have to agree. I'm going to toss it to Andy. You know what? This has a possibility. Will he go back to being that crazy lunatic that he was before?
I just don't understand WWE giving him the title and then splitting him up on the same night. That's the bit I just don't understand. It would have been better if they'd have lost. Seth Rollins had got pinned, then that could have been a reason for Dean to say, you are absolutely useless. Why would I want to team up with you? But to win the championship and then walk away makes no sense to me whatsoever.
Well, if I can chime in, Andy, I think they did that. Again, we'll put this side of, obviously, is the reason why they fast-tracked it. Because, again, we didn't expect it. And, sometimes I like that little change in a little spot. And even still, we don't know if he's officially given it up. We're going under the assumption. But, yeah, it's definitely something interesting. As far as will he go back to being crazy, he's not going to do it while he's a heel. When he comes back as a babyface and he acts like that, that's when the fans are going to love him, because that's what he was known for being that witty, crazy guy. When you're a heel, you can't really execute it that well.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Zoe, this is your favorite guy. Notice we kept her for last. What do you think about this whole thing?
I kind of saw it coming. I do have to agree with Carrie as far as, some really, really good matches will come of this for Dean Ambrose because of the heel turn. I see him not necessarily being the whole, outspoken badass type again. I see him, staying as the strong, silent type. Other than that, the only thing that really caught my attention is the last few weeks, if you noticed, Seth Rollins, he was constantly, bragging on Dean, and he kept calling him lunatic, and Dean was taking offense to it, considering before he left, he took pride in being a lunatic. So, and then him beating the hell out of Seth and him being like, is this what you wanted? Is this the lunatic you wanted? I can't wait to see where it goes from now.
Absolutely. You know what? And that's one of the things they were just trying to come up with something just to say, like, he has his own version of a title. He has this lunatic title. Mrs. A says, lunatics don't always make a lot of sense. Well, definitely. He's
That's what
working.
everyone thinks.
Yep, he's working for the biggest crazy asylum in the world right now. So that's probably it. But you know what? This Sunday is Evolution, and this is the first ever all women's pay-per-view. Now, let me go a little bit of history here. With this, we've seen the first ever. You know what? This is crazy. Ever since Zoe joined the HWR crew, we've seen women in many things. We've seen the first ever women's Royal Rumble, the first women's Hell in a Cell, the first women's Money in the Bank, and now this is a first ever women's pay-per-view. But I can see why they gave this to them, because they're not going to Saudi Arabia, because the women are banned from performing in the ring because of their attire. But we got, like I said, we got a good couple of matches that what I like is they mixed old with new, and a lot of these women are great, and it's good to see them back. And I even believe the commentary team, Rick, correct me if I'm sure, the commentary team does have Beth Phoenix in it with somebody else.
Honestly, I don't know. I have not heard of that, but I could be dead wrong on that one.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. They've got Beth listed to actually be in action in a match.
You're talking about the Battle Royal, but I didn't see her on the list. But again, we're gonna go back to the first ever last woman standing match, and that's between Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
Yes, I forgot about that one.
And that's honestly, I'm looking forward to that match. I think that's going to be a really good match. Regardless, I know some people are a fan of Becky Lynch. I think she has promise. I think this is a run for her, a just run for her, and she's got to win this one. Hook or crook, but she's got to win it.
Yeah, you know what? And we did talk about Nikki Bella and Ronda Rousey before, so we already passed that. We already did our prediction for that. But here's a factor, Rick. Becky Lynch is still working with a cracked jawbone, so we don't really know the status of that. Now, obviously, it's already late in the week. They haven't done anything to say. I wouldn't be surprised she gets into this match. She's a hell of a worker, deserves everything about it. But what's going to happen, in my opinion, if that cracked jawbone really is that bad, I could see her dropping the title in a quick match, so it doesn't alleviate more that problem. Or they can actually let her win the match and then take time off. Let's go to you first, Rick.
Well, you made a good point about the cracked jaw thing, and I have to agree with you. If for some reason it's more serious than usual, they will probably have to take her out. In fact, if she does miss time, we don't know the whole status of that situation, just for the record. That would be the best thing to do. Give Charlotte the title, have her take off for a while, come back for a title rematch. And if that's the case, it's tough luck, because like I said, Becky does kind of deserve that little title run for a bit.
Absolutely. Let's go to you, Zoe. Who do you think's going to win?
I think that it's going to be Becky to win it. And the reason I'm saying that, because you guys do make a good point about the whole jaw thing. But, I mean, she went through the stage not long ago, and that was after the announcement was made about the fractured jaw. So I think that if she's okay to be going through a stage like that, I think she's good to continue wrestling.
All right. You know what? Let's go to you, Andy. It's kind of scary that some of the talent today have to do this. They put their lives on the line and their bodies on the line. What do you think of this whole situation? Who do you think's going to win?
I've got Charlotte down as a win, and I'm going to basically shadow what people like Jake the Snake Roberts have to say, that young wrestlers just haven't got a clue how to make it big in the business. They seem to think that they've got to be spot monkeys. You don't have to be a spot monkey to be a world champion. Putting your body in danger every single time you fight, it's not clever. And unfortunately, That is the young roster of today. None of them are going to have a long career in wrestling. You got like John Cena, what is he, 15 years in with the WWE, probably 20 plus wrestling. None of these new people coming out of NXT are going to have any more than 5.
Yeah, and you know what? I definitely have to agree with you. From the bumps I've seen some of these guys do, and the women too, I agree that they're spot monks, but I also worry how they're going to affect themselves if. Yeah, I'm just waiting for the worst thing to happen, and it's all going to boil down to them slowing matches down again. Let's go to you, Lance. What do you think?
Well, as much as I hate to say this, I see Charlotte winning, but because I hear the Nature Boy is supposed to be backstage, and I think somehow there could be a little bit of chicanery, and that's how Becky stays down.
Or maybe Becky goes to Space Mountain, you say?
Oh, no, because Flair's still trying to recover. And he's having to take it easier in his old age.
Yeah. I hate to say, but that Space Mountain is closed.
Yeah.
Closed and under construction.
Even a whole bottle of Viagra couldn't get that back in operation.
Oh, it probably could. The problem is his fucking heart would give out.
Yeah. He beat death once. I don't think he can do it again.
If he had sex with Becky Lynch, it'd be like the launch of the Colombian space shuttle all over again. He could bang on fucking. No, as soon as it lifts off, he could explode its nut.
Jeez. Space Mountain's been condemned.
Although Becky, if you're single, call me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, she's Irish. You don't want to know, Rick.
Lads,
you don't want to know. You really don't want to know an Irish chick.
It'll be fun trying.
And you know what I'm going to tell you? You're coming from Boston where there's a lot of mix, and me having that, Irish chicks can be pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, they're pretty crazy, and they always end up ugly. You find me a 50-year-old Irish woman that's attractive.
Well, I'd get rid of her. I'd get rid of her before she.
Oh, they're not attractive. They're just batshit crazy.
Jeez. Well, you know what? It'll be fun trying. Anyway, one of the other premiere matches on here that really would be interesting to watch. It is Toni Storm versus Lo Chiari. I hope I said that properly. And this is for the Mae Young Finals. So these two young girls are going into a pay-per-view of great magnitude, and also being in the Mae Young Finals. Let's go to you, Zoe. That's gotta be a highlight of your career, when not only are you in a Mae Young Classic, but you're on a pay-per-view where millions of people can watch you.
Oh, definitely. I just hope that I hope they don't choke, because I mean, with all this going on and them being this fresh, they're probably their stomachs doing backflips with butterflies right now. Oh. I mean, it's a big thing, and that's great for them. More power to them. Great job, girls.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go to you, Rick. Who's your pick? Well, you know what, Zoe, which one did you pick?
That
one bitch that has her hand raised.
In short, yes.
I don't know. I like them both. I can't pick. I mean, they're both equally talented women. I can't pick.
All right. So
unless I both.
You like flip a coin. The bitch that won. All right, let's go to you, Rick. Who do you think is going to win? And
honestly, I'm interested to see the match. I was going to watch the Mae Young Classic, but unfortunately I had a lot of other shit to deal with. Not to mention I watched Raw, SmackDown, and Impact, and by then I'm just all wrestled out. So I'm just interested in seeing the match. Who's going to win? I have no idea.
All right, you know what? And I'm gonna kind of do a toss up too. This is one of these matches that's a toss up. I did get a glance of a couple of their matches. Very, very talented women. More power to them. and I just can't pick a winner because they're both equally good. Final word, Lance Man.
Well, George and I actually watched the Mae Young Classic all the way during after the Wednesday night shows I do, and honestly, I gotta say, toss up. But if I had to give to anybody, I had to just. The only reason I'm picking her is because she's hot. I'd go Tony Storm.
There you go. Skills are not required in this.
Yes. Other than that, it's a toss-up.
Yeah. And then we're going to go to the NXT Women's Championship. This is the third championship of the night. And it is the defending champion, Kairi Sane, versus the former ugly woman who got hit by a truck and the truck lost, Shayna Baszler. If anything, I would have said that maybe, I think, Lance, you put it up there, that if Shayna loses, she's going to go straight to Raw and probably team up with Ronda Rousey. I'm gonna go for the little Kairi Sane because I like the gimmick that she does, and her wrestling is not that bad. So yeah, and plus the other chick is completely freaking ugly. So yep, let's go. I'm gonna go to Zane. Let's go to you, Lance.
Yeah, Kairi Sane or Kairi Sane. Yeah,
Kairi.
Yeah, the Asian chick that likes to dress up as a pirate.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out why she's dressed as a Japanese pirate.
She's kinky like that, I guess.
That's fine.
Must be a hentai fan or something.
No, don't say that. Billy might join. Quiet. All right, let's go to you, Rick.
Well, I'm going to tell you, both of these ladies have talent. I've seen Shayna Baszler in the ring, and I've seen Kairi Sane in the ring. I actually saw that one of their first matches, which I think was one of NXT takeovers, and they did a great job. So to me, again, if I had to pick, I'd want to go with Sane because Baszler had a run. This is her rematch. So again, usually, in 99 out of 100 times, when a wrestler wins a title, he or she usually gets to defend it at least once. Unfortunately, the 100th one. Never mind. I missed the joke.
Okay.
I mean, who else? I think there was one person who did it overnight. It was a Money in the Bank, or it was a ladder match with what the fuck's his name? Jobber guy.
That guy who won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania and lost it the next night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Zack Ryder.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder. I couldn't think of the motherfucker's name. That's just how significant he is.
You know, and again, folks, it's funny because it is true. You know, sometimes the champions don't get. I think it's the theme. They just have that thing that they don't. I don't know. They just don't get to keep the belt after a quick thing. They just like boom, 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 and move on. I don't know. Anyway, let's go to you, Andy. Final word on this match.
Yeah, there's going to be one there's going to be one UFC winner in the WWE, and it's going to be Shayna because Ronda ain't got a prayer.
You know, unless I'm going to bring this real quick to you, Andy. What if Shayna goes and helps Ronda during her main event match? That might turn the tide there.
Well, there's been rumours ever since she's been in that she's best friends with Ronda Rousey. So there's sometime they're going to team up, and I think, to be perfectly honest, they're going to give her the title because she's a UFC fighter, and they're just making UFC fighters look like idiots at the moment.
All right, final word, Zoe.
I'm gonna say probably Sane. I really feel like she's going to come out as the champ and everything. But now the ugly girl, I would rather see her face Ronda Rousey at some point. That looks like that would be a pretty decent feud.
I agree, and there you can go full contact because both of them are used to full contact with each other.
Mhm.
So kind of that sounds kind of kinky, Lance.
Yes.
Thank God that dude is retired. Here is one of the dream matches that is happening on this pay-per-view, and I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna put in my prediction, and we'll go around the table. Trish Stratus, who still looks good today, and she has, teaming up with another lady who still looks great, Lita, and they'll be taking on the team of Alexa Bliss and Mickie James. Obviously, this is a dream match for Alexa because she'll be in the ring with 3 former women's champions, not divas, women's champions. My prediction is going to be Trish Stratus, of course, and Lita. But here's a little thing. Because of the history of everybody involved, I could see Mickie James turn against Alexa to go with Trish Stratus and Lita because they did all feud together and they all hanged out together back in the day. So they all have history. Trish and Mickie obviously had that history. That was the first lesbian kiss we've ever seen on WWE TV. If you don't remember that, Trish was the reigning women's champion, and Mickie was the crazy lunatic who...
Shocker.
Yeah, and they did that first lesbian kiss that still vibrated through me through these days. It makes me giggly as when Zoe says Uber Westchester. So I could see her turning against Alexa to go with her compatriots, and then you're going to slowly see Mickie kind of drift away and being just a part-timer. Let's go to you, Zoe. What do you think about this match, and who's going to win?
Oh my God, this is the match that I am the most excited for because we've got 3 of my favorite legendary women in WWE and one of my current favorite younger women of this generation. Let's see. I do feel like Trish and Lita will win it, but I kind of feel like it's going to be opposite. I think Alexa is just basically going to ditch Mickie James altogether. I feel like it's going to turn into something big with that. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But the only thing that comes to my mind whenever I hear Trish Stratus and Mickie James is the WrestleMania V incident. And I know you boys know what I'm talking about.
Crickets. Refresh my memory.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry, don't get me wrong. I had my
never-
mic off, but I'm glad I had my mic off because, it's a little personal.
It was doing something.
Mickey had grabbed hold of Trisha's crotch and looked directly at the camera, put her hands in a V and kind of like looked between them.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she's a yoga, so I don't think her lips are beaten up. I think she's got them both nice and firm.
Yeah.
Trish, you're listening. Do that Sunday.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, God.
Let's go to you, Rick. What do you think?
Well, I'm guessing that Trish and Lita are going to get the win. You made an interesting point, Joe, about Mickie James possibly turning. I think what's going to happen is when they lose, we're going to see Alexa Bliss pull a nutty and get all pissy, and eventually we're going to see these 2 split, and then probably, maybe have a title match somewhere down the line. Possibly. Only because we have an upcoming pay-per-view, a Battle Royal, which we'll get to that in a second. But my pick overall is definitely going to be Trish and Lita.
All right, let's go to you, Andy Man.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trish and Lita, and Mickie James will get a tongue in as they all walk out, 3 of them together, and Alexa Bliss will be licking herself.
God damn it! Now I got no
So when you
thoughts
have a
in my
camera,
head.
that'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Why can't anybody fucking film that like they filmed Paige? Jeez.
WWE backstage, get on that.
Exactly. Where was the sneaky cam? Remember back in the Attitude Era, there was a guy who always sneaking around with a camera?
CTV.
Oh,
Yeah.
No, GTV.
Yeah, we
It was something
Well-
like that, yeah.
Well, they tried that the other week, but Seth Rollins was a complete wank knob and gave the game away. Because if you can remember, I think it was 2 weeks ago, the Shield was standing backstage and they were all holding their arms out as though they were holding the camera. And when they swung the camera around to Seth Rollins, he put his arms down. I thought, oh, you can do a selfie without using your hands. Maybe it's that dick photograph that was circulating the internet a couple of years ago.
Oh, God. It wasn't that big.
Ah, yes, the Seth Rollins selfie.
Yeah. He exposed he exposed his Captain Winky.
You know what? All I have to say is I'm sure there's a real one out there, but thankfully that part was blurred. I'll just take a word for it that what happened was legit.
There's a real one out there, and I was not impressed.
Wow! Ouch!
Something mean by
And here's
Just saying, I was not impressed. I can see why his woman left him and switched teams.
damn. You know, and you know it's funny when Charlotte Flair has a bigger one than Seth Rollins. That's when you know.
Well, that is the man.
We found Captain Winky. It's on Charlotte. All right, Lance, man, what do you think?
Well, because I'm hearing rumors that Alexa might not be able to wrestle in this match, if they put Foxy in this match, ain't no way in hell they're going to. But I'm still going Trish and Lita.
Absolutely. Oh God. You know what? We've got one more match on here. And it is the Women's Battle Royal. Now, the winner gets a shot at a world title. Now, mind you, there are different women from different brands. So, does this mean that whoever wins, if it's a SmackDown person, they get a SmackDown championship? If it's a Raw woman that wins, that means a Raw woman championship goes up for grabs, and they get that title. Or an NXT woman gets a shot. I think this is going to be something, or maybe it's just open challenge that they can attack. They can go after any women's champion. But here are the participants as it stands right now: Lana, that's not going to win. Dana Brooke, not going to win. Asuka, I wish she would. Mandy Rose, the Iconics. Carmella, who's fabulous. Nia Jax, she should win. Tamina, I would love to see her team with Nia Jax. Amber Moon, who's another great person. Michelle McCool, who's the wife of The Undertaker. Alundra Blaze, which is Medusa Maselli. Molly Holly, that we haven't seen in a long time. Kelly. Maria Kanellis, who really no one cares. Ivory, that she looks great too. Selena Vega, you know, as long as she got her papers cleared and she got her passport, she should be fine. As long as she's not part of the caravan like her boy is, then we should have no problem. Alicia.
Wow.
Alicia.
Oh.
What?
That's Joe at Skulter got it.
Yeah.
This is why we take discussion and advise people.
Close the border. Leave Elvis out there. Alicia Fox and Tori Wilson. Now, I'm going to say this. They are missing quite a couple of people. Jackie, who should have been in there. It was mentioned that Phoenix. Hopefully she's in there. I don't see any other any NXT women on here. They'll be announced later on the show. But
I'm kind of hoping Nikki Cross will be announced.
That's another one. That's a great person. Now
that's a whole lot of hotness right there.
Yeah,
Santina's not in there either.
Yeah, that's what we need.
We know who Andy's missing.
I would mark out, and I usually don't say that. I would mark out if Santino Marella came in dressed as Santina Marella.
And there's only one other bloke. There's only one other bloke that used to walk around wearing a dress, and that's the guy that used to come in with the mop. Whose name escapes me.
Well, Saturn,
he definitely won't be there.
Well, don't forget, you also had Big Vito too, who dressed in a dress. So,
Well, and we also had Goldust, who would dress up like Luna all the time. So, and Sable. I mean, he dressed up as both of them.
Yeah. Well, let's hope Sable doesn't show up. One thing
the only match you could see Sable in, it was Sable versus Cher, who has the most plastic.
Yeah, oh, jeez, yeah. And she would win that hands down. And she got so much bad plastic that Brock Lesnar cannot put her next to candles or she will melt. You know, I look at this match and my two favorites out of here is Amber Moon and Asuka, and I do hope it comes down to those two. I would say the one who needs to win this definitely is Asuka, because she's just been the comedy relief of Naomi, who's also not mentioned on here too, so we don't know if she'll be part of this.
Oh, my bad, Naomi is a part.
Okay, so Naomi's in here too. So I could see, I'm going to make my prediction Asuka, because Asuka's been such the comedy relief. They've been really pushing her down, and I'm hoping that this is her break. Let's go to you, Zoe. Who do you think's going to win this match?
Let's see here. I really feel like it's either going to be Nia or it will be Ember Moon. But my first pick will definitely be Ember Moon. I tell you, somebody else who I'm shocked is not involved in this match is Stephanie McMahon and what's her face? Excuse me. Shit.
Vicky Guerrero.
Yeah, I would have figured they would have put her in there as, some form of comic relief.
That would have been something else. Like, all of a sudden, they're announcing everybody, excuse me! And she comes down. And she's old, too, so I don't think she'll stay in it. She'll be like Moolah. She'll just get easily rolled out.
That's what I'm saying. She would be the first one thrown out.
Yep. So
as soon as it started.
So you're saying basically Amber Moon for this.
It's going to come down for me between Ember Moon and Nia Jax.
All right. Rick, I'm going to toss it to you. There's also been word that maybe, nothing's confirmed yet, but there was still the rumor of the Women's Tag Team Championship making a return.
Oh.
And by looking at some of these women that are in this battle royal, there could be some great tag teams that can come out. Imagine the killer team of Nia Jax and Tamina, or Asuka and Amber Moon. Just to name, but we're going to the battle royal. There's so many good people mixed in. What do you think?
Well, first off, when it comes to this tag team division, I've already spoken once, but real quick, it shouldn't happen. Not yet. They still need to bring in some more women in the roster. But when it comes down, as far as the tag team of Tamina and Nia Jax, with the amount of the women that we have, they would just be overpowered and be like Legion of Doom against the Rockers. Just would not make sense. But as far as who's going to win the battle royal, for me, it comes down to three women. First and foremost, I'd have to say Ember Moon, Asuka, and Nia Jax is a possibility, but I'm going with Ember Moon.
All right. And I want to give a big thank you to Christian Elizabeth Mills for giving us a big love. We also have Elizabeth Sermons-Dixon, who just gave us a big thumbs up. Thanks, everybody, for participating and being with us tonight. We're going to keep going. I think George is asleep. Somebody wake up George, somebody.
I got an idea how to do this.
Uh-oh.
I want some people to start asking us questions.
I bet you they'll ask the questions after the show is off the air.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, I told George if he didn't start talking, you'd have to do something.
Yeah.
Well, I told... Do you have a picture of Carmella?
I am going through it right now.
George, brother,
it always comes, a close-up of Charlotte Flair.
No, that's just wrong. Besides, that's
there she is. She is fabulous. All right. Let's go to you,
She's
Lance.
got a butterface.
Yeah, Lord Jesus. All right, let's go to you, Lance. Who do you think's going to win the Battle Royal?
Well, like everybody's been saying, it's between Naya, Asuka, and Ember. But just to kind of honestly give it a little bit of a kind of a nod to the Inoue family, they could give it to Naya.
You know, and that's a good point too. I did not think of that. They might do that. And Terry is over at HWR Show on YouTube. So hey, Terry. Look, it's Charlie Flair. Yeah, definitely.
Hey, Terry, brother.
Yeah, let's go over to you, Andy. Who do you think's gonna win this women's battle royal?
Amber Moon. She's the only one that the WWE haven't done anything with yet.
Very true.
Very true. Yeah, definitely. Again, you know, when you look at all these, this is a packed dream match because they have these legendary women wrestlers in there. We have the current roster who's active. You know, I gotta say, you know, there's probably gonna be a lot of surprises in this match, and this is the one match this is the second match I'm gonna be interested in watching. One thing, guys, I know we just went around the whole table. Rick, did I catch you?
Yeah, you got me.
There's one name that hasn't appeared yet, and I think everybody was hoping that she would be here. It's another former women's champion, which was AJ Lee. I think everybody was hoping. I think everybody was hoping she would have been another name added to this mix. And I wasn't a fan of the 16-year-old looking champion, but...
And you're a fan of the 16-year-old Alexa Bliss?
No, she's more of a 17-year-old.
Still.
Yeah, I don't care. We'll just leave that alone. But yes, you know what? That's another person that too bad they couldn't get. But
there's somebody else that we unfortunately won't be able to make it. It's in the side chat. Do it, Joe.
Who's that? What? You know what? There's a couple of women. The Cat.
Yeah.
There is.
Melina.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. I was just trying to think of her name. Who else? I don't see any other Bella in here because Brie is not in the match.
Yeah.
Right.
Unfortunately, somebody passed.
Arma, Jazz.
Unfortunately, somebody passed on before they could make this show.
Yeah.
Hey, Andy.
Somebody. Yeah.
Terry says Andy's gonna win the women's battle royal in his skivvies, scaring the ladies out of the ring. That would be a Benny Hill moment.
There's one picture that I've put in the Skype chat box. That,
God! Seriously, if you guys haven't seen it, look.
Is a favourite.
Oh God!
That person is a favourite to one of our listeners.
Yeah, Mr. Rob Franklin is such a big fan.
God.
I didn't realize John Candy was still alive.
I'm gonna get heat for that, but I regret nothing.
Oh God, yeah.
Is such a fan. If we can actually put a picture on the screen of this lady, he's got all the pictures. He's got signed photographs on his wall.
Yeah.
He's got everything.
Even the adult film they made in XPW, he has.
Yeah, 3 copies. One on VHS, one on DVD, and the other one on Blu-ray.
Oh God.
You know who else that I'm actually shocked is not in this match or on the pay-per-view at all is Stacy Keibler. I figured she'd definitely come back
There
for
you
at least
go.
a one
Hey.
Hey.
Here it is. There's that picture of Nicole Bass.
Just for you, Rob.
Just for you, Rob. Just seeing that turns my stomach. Oh.
Oh God. I kind of envy.
She's even
I kind of
smoking one
envy
of Rob's
IPTV guy right now.
Oh,
She's
God.
even smoking one of Rob's joints there, by the looks of it.
Probably the only thing she can suck on.
Yeah, jeez. Well, she's sucking up dirt now because she's dead.
Oh
But
God.
she lives on in Rob Franklin's dreams.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus.
God. You know who else is not in here? Sonny.
Thank
I don't
God.
think WWE. Yeah, I think she's still in jail, isn't she?
No,
She could come in. She could come in an orange jumpsuit.
Yeah, orange is the new
Yeah.
black. Can you think of it like this? Can you imagine they announce the last person? One of the security people has to knock on this door, and it starts playing the music, Sonny's music. I know I'm sexy, and all of a sudden, these two police escort Sonny out in an orange jumpsuit, and they have to uncuff her to let her go in the ring.
Well, you know what? If that's the case, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off, Lance, but they should start a new TV series just with Sonny, and it's the orange laying on her back. That would be the latest porn.
Or it's never Sonny in prison.
Now, and they call her a version of a gimmick they used in Memphis. They should call her the female convict.
Yeah.
Oh God.
She's making herself a public company, I heard, isn't she? And you can buy shares in it, Sonny and Shares.
Oh, I love you, Sonny. She'll have the iconics because they both look like Cher of old.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have to mute the mic when I listen to those two try to talk. I don't know which is worse, them or that fucking Leo Rush. I know it's way off the fucking topic, and that's what we do
I'd
here.
rather listen to them than Leo Rush.
Yeah, it's on the mic. Lashley. I'm like, will you shut the fuck up, please?
Ain't nobody look like Lashley, and I'm sitting there thinking, yep, because then we'd have to hear Lashley doing his little laugh all the time. Thank you, Lance caught it.
You know
Well,
what?
the funny thing is, they keep playing on the fact that Bobby Lashley's hurt. What they don't say is his butt's hurt by Lashley.
You know
I
what?
swear, I want to rip that boy's vocal box out of his throat. Oh my God.
You know what it is? We all are praying for Randy Orton to come out and give him such a beating like he used to do the Singh brothers.
Yes.
I think they should make him have a match with Pat Patterson.
Oh, God.
Hey, how you doing, you little boy? How you doing?
Over in the HWI show, Terry says, when it regards to Sonny, she is the female porn Vic. So,
Oh God, that was good. I like that.
Nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see that.
yeah. But again, you know what? This Sunday. It is this Sunday's pay-per-view of Evolution, and we will be reporting it like we always do every pay-per-view for all you fans that are listening. We will be live, and we won't be streaming it, but you will hear our commentary of the matches. And I want to say something real quick. I didn't mean to offend anybody when it comes to leukemia. It is a serious thing. I just hope that WWE has stooped to so many lows in its past. If this is a storyline that's in bad taste, but it wouldn't surprise me out of Vince. So
We've missed a match.
we
Missed a match. Yeah. The NXT UK title.
yeah, but that's a male match.
No, it's like Isla Dawn I've got as a win.
Were you missing that match? I don't even see that.
Yeah?
Yeah. Isla Dawn. If you go on I've been looking on the WWE page and it's Isla Dawn against somebody else, and I've just wrote Isla Dawn down to win the NXT Female Championship.
Wow, I did not
UK
know about
Championship.
that. That kind of goes to show you how much we pay attention to everything else over there.
I don't see it on the official website.
That's where I got it from, because I posted it when somebody posted in the chat room who your picks. I went straight on there, looked at the matches, and put my picks in. She's one of them.
Right now, I see top
Was
to
my
bottom
initial-
real quick.
My
Lousy
initial-
Bella, the SmackDown with Last Woman Standing, Trish Stratus, the Legends Tag match, Kerry Zane, Shea Baszler, that's NXT, the Battle Royal, and then we had one more match, which was Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Natalia versus the Riot Squad.
Yep, there you go. That was a 6-women's match.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. That's gonna go to Bailey and Sasha and Natalia. That you're not gonna see any changes there.
Because the only thing I couldn't understand.
Put you on that one. Because they've been beating up on the Riot Squad lately. I'm going to say they finally give them a win lately.
Yeah, I think the Riot Squad will win. Because they've done nothing apart from run down like a bunch of jerk-offs.
And get the hell beat out of them by the Bellas.
Yeah, and that's a shame right there, too.
We'll live more.
So, alright, so we do have that match, which is, it is the 6-man match, 6-women's match, excuse me. We're going to go real quick. Everybody says the Riot Squad, I'm counting.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with the Riot Squad.
Alright. And I'm also looking at the WWE's official lineup for this pay-per-view. And yeah, that was the only match that we were missing that I don't see. But again, that could be a match thrown in under the pre-show, because again, they might do that match under the pre-show. So, we will have to see where it goes from there. So with that, fans, we are definitely over time, and we're going to end this podcast real quick. But before we do that, check out everybody at their at their pages, and let's start off with Johnny Perez and his what, Zoe?
Uber of Westchester.
Man, that says just such a tingle. That really is like that good tingle. And you can find Johnny over on YouTube and Instagram. Just do the hashtag Uber Westchester, and you'll be seeing all his videos as he talks about everything regarding Ubering, how he makes money and everything. So check him out on that. For BC and Mrs. A, check them out. There are BC Games and More. Check them out every Tuesday night at 9:30. They're always supporting us and always referring people to us. So I'm just doing the same courtesy back. He is the incomparable one, Lance Moss. And Lance, tell everybody what's going on and where they can find you.
Well, you can find me at youtube.com/LanceMossTV. Every Wednesday night I go live Lance Moss TV and Friends. I never know who's going to show up. This Wednesday is actually going to be our Halloween episode. Imagine that it's Halloween, so I'm having a Halloween party, so everybody show up. And yeah, and I want to basically extend an apology to some of the women, because this will probably be HWR's most pervy live reaction. Just saying, because y'all know how we are.
Absolutely, yeah. Especially when it comes to the Trish Stratus leader match.
Yeah.
And she is the vicious vixen of Kentucky's Own Wrestling. She is the manager of the reigning KCW Tag Team Champions Carnage. She is Zoe Nightshade. Zoe, tell everybody what's going on, where they can find you.
Okay, well, you guys can always find me on Facebook under my fan page, Zoe Nightshade, or on the HWR page. This coming weekend, KZW is back at it again in Somerset, Kentucky. It is a outdoor show, so bring your lawn chairs. It will be at the Get Fit Fitness Center. Other than that, if anybody out there is a big horror fan like I am, I actually go live on Facebook every Friday night at 10 o'clock to bring you some scary stories. So hop over to the Nightmare Vixen. That is where it is at, and I will be live tomorrow night at 10.
All right. Speaking about nightmares and everything, he is the head of Stoked Haunted. He goes hunting for these things. He is Andy. Andy, tell everybody about Stoked Haunted and what's happening.
Yeah, we've got nothing on, and I'm having withdrawal symptoms. So if anyone's got any venues in the Staffordshire area in the UK that they'd like to be investigated, please get in touch, because I've exhausted every single venue I think I can do, and we've got nothing to do on Halloween night. I'm devastated. So get yourself over to www.stokehaunted.com. Have a look at the page, and hopefully within the next couple of weeks I'll have something better to report of where our next investigation is going to come from.
Definitely. And I look forward to that. Maybe you want to go camp out in a cemetery, Andy, that Halloween night.
Well, most of my team are moonlighting with another team, so there's only like me and my better half Sarah left, and
sometimes that makes the better videos.
That's what I was thinking, but I just think it's
that could get him thrown off this server.
I just don't think she'd want to do it without having some other girl's hand to hold. You know what these females are like, holding other people's hands.
Well, she can hold other people's hands there. They won't be alive, but they'll be there.
Andy, this could just be an idea. How long of it is a flight to Turkey?
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't like to have a guess. But if there's anybody in the Staffordshire area that would like to go on a ghost hunt, get in touch. We'll arrange something. Might even do it this Halloween. Who knows?
Absolutely. And he is the head of this asylum. He always tries to keep us in line, but we always kind of drive him insane.
It never works.
Yeah. He is Rick. Head Rick. Tell everybody about HWR. I like the backgrounds that you've been doing.
Oh, thanks. But first off, I'm surprised. I'm shocked right now that nobody has addressed the fact that Joe says that wants Zoe to tinkle his tingle. I mean, is there something that we're not talking about, or?
Hey, I don't deny it nor.
Well, I'm wondering if Zoe's denying it or not.
No comment.
Fair enough.
I can't believe, actually, all these people that have been listening to the show, not one of them have got a question for the panel.
Yeah, damn it.
Exactly.
Some people just want to listen in, and unfortunately, that's just the way it goes. But you know what? Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Right now, we are in the chat room. If you're listening, you know where we're at. We do all the latest news. I cover Raw. We cover the pay-per-views. We also, of course, do our picks every Thursday night. We do our four-corner rants. And every now and then, if there's something that I need to talk about, that's how we have Hardcore Wrestling Videos in the moment. We do tribute videos and so much more. So check us out. That's the HWR chat room and the Facebook group section. And for those of you who want to check out some of our videos and tribute videos that I've done in the past, check out our YouTube page, HWR Show.
Absolutely. And I am the host, Joseph Scoldren Knight, and you can just do the hashtag Scoldren's Realm. You can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. You can see all my videos, what I do, especially when I do like review videos, like from basically Dead by Daylight and other retro games. So you can check me out there. You can also go to ScoldrensRealm.com, and you can see not only us, my videos and everything there, but you can also see all of our pretty much all of our stuff there when it comes to t-shirts and everything. So do ScoldrensRealm.com, go to shop, and you can see all the t-shirts, where the t-shirts are up right now, as you can see. So order them from ScoldrensRealm.com, click shop, and we have them all in different colors. And again, this Sunday is Evolution, and what time are they starting that?
It's not the usual time. It's 7. However, WWE had announced that they're doing a 3-hour show on Facebook Live, thank God. And I'm guessing when it comes to that, it's just all going to be, they're all talking about how they're honored. They're going to do all the past and all the PR bullshit and, kind of the tear in my eye type shit. I have no desire to watch it.
All right. So again, folks, with that, we will be live that night to watch everything. I'm just going to watch the pay-per-view. I really don't care about the background stories and all that.
I've just got one question to answer, which was asked to me and Rick about 4 years ago. Being as we've had no questions asked, I'm going to answer the question that was asked on YouTube about 4 years ago. And I'm gonna squash the rumours now. No, I am not Lord Alfred Hazy's love child.
You're his brother.
Oh, God. for those of you who are like, what the hell are you talking about? When HWR first started, we would have like segments where we would talk about like certain things. And one night we talked about, it was the Dynamite Kid. And we had so much hate because we pretty much just trashed the guy, went through the documentary, and surprisingly, as much as people hated it, it's also one of our largest views show. And again, that's over at the HWR show. Scroll to the bottom and you'll see it, and you'll probably be hitting us too right after you listen to it.
Well, to hate us is to love us.
Exactly. And we all generate some sort of hate some way or another. And people know I love stirring the pot. But with that, folks, we have been really exhausted. Our time we really went over. But this is how much we love entertaining you people. Because that's what this is all about. It's just entertaining you folks. And making sure you get your wrestling fill from us.
Can I make a suggestion before we go?
Absolutely.
If there's anybody out there in listening land, whether you're listening to this live or listening to this recorded or wherever you're listening to it from, would I just want to ask if you'd like us to do a show dedicated on a particular wrestler, past or present, and we could do like an half an hour thought on what we thought of that particular person, male or female, past or present. I think it might be an interesting show.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? That's a great idea. And we can even do it on a Saturday night or Saturday afternoon or whatever when it's good for everybody. So we could get everybody together. So that would be awesome to do. I think that'll be great. You know what?
Yeah, because like Rick said, we did the Dynamite Kid and it got the most listens. And it was somebody asked us to do a Dynamite Kid review of his DVD. And we no holds barred, you know me and Rick, and we just gave our honest opinion. Yeah, the guy was a phenomenal talent, but he was also the biggest arsehole ever put breath in himself.
Yeah. You know what? And here's a funny thing, too, is I was a mark for the British Bulldogs. I always wanted the dream match between them and the Road Warriors, because here are these two big British guys. You know, they were taking on people in the WWE and WWF at the time. And, you know, their matches with the Dream Team, the Hart Foundation, and even the Heenan family. They were one of the best tag teams that the WWE ever had. So, you know, and then to hear the stories from Jacques Rougeau and Raymond Rougeau and how they were really assholes. Well, not Davey, but Dynamite. It's kind of sad, you know. It kind of shows you what type of person he was. But again, folks, this is the end of the show. So with that, again, Andy just threw up the gauntlet down. If you want us to do a show dedicated to a certain wrestler or faction, let us know. And we will definitely do a show on that, and we'll do it as a special. We'll do it as a Saturday special, like our Saturday nights HWR.
We can do it in the moment.
Yeah, there you go, and in the moment, where Rick will be in charge because my voice is going. So with that, I'm gonna say thanks for watching, and we will see you this Sunday. And with that, Lance, tell everybody the special words that you do.
Buy the shirts!
Buy the shirts, definitely indeed. We have to fund our addictions here.
Yeah.
All right.
Crap.
Now, who's can we, hopefully we're going to see some wardrobe malfunctions in this pay-per-view.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. The freaking camera. Well, everything's still on. All right, folks. Have a nice night.